You've probably heard this a million times, but also chose to ignore it because of its simplicity. One of the most important things to know about the process of change is that more information is not going to get you to your goal. You have to learn how to take action. No matter how small of a step forward it might be, we won't get anywhere if we focus solely on gathering information. And if that's already obvious to you, that's great. But I see this mistake being made every day in coaching clients through change. So listen up, because learning more about this process will show you how to get to your goals even quicker if you're already driven to achieve on your own. Can you relate to having a goal in mind, something that you want to achieve? And yet, instead of taking the first step in creating a plan for yourself, you find yourself doing more research, reading yet another book, or watching another hour of YouTube videos before doing anything? Our strongest desire for change comes to us during times of transition. A milestone birthday, a relationship change, a death in the family, or something else that causes us to open our eyes wide and wake up. In our own hero's journey, this is the stage of the call to adventure. But we're still stuck in the ordinary world until we start to take action. Sometimes we feel like we lack motivation or that we don't have all the info yet that we need to get started. So here's what I'd like you to do if you've got a goal in mind and something that is calling you to change. There are 6 important steps in this process. First, you need to assess what you already know about the goal that you have and any information that you may need to gather. This first step is where we often get caught in our solo adventure because we assume that we need to keep gathering more data and getting more information, so we never get further than this, or if we do, it takes much longer than it really needs to in order to advance action. But springing into action without a plan is also not a great idea, because it's like going on a treasure hunt without the map. Once you have the pieces of the map in place, it gives you a much clearer sense of what direction you're heading in. Step 2 is to understand your starting point, and you also want to explore the end point of your desired outcome. Dig more into the why behind your goal. What's the deeper value to change that you're seeking to make? By understanding this, you'll have a meaning that resonates with you that will help you to stick through the inevitable setbacks along your journey. Take your time with step 2. I find that we often sit down to journal out our why and expect an immediate answer to bubble up in our minds, but in reality, this can sometimes take days or weeks to gain clarity on. It might feel like you're delaying the start of action by reflecting on where you're currently at and the purpose behind your outcome goal, but this process will create inspiration from within you that will make you much more resilient for the challenges ahead. So step 3 is to strategize and plan. You start to put together a map for the plan that will get you towards your goal, and now you want to make sure that your backpack is filled with all the tools and supplies that you'll need for the road ahead. This is about creating options for yourself, because one of the keys to taking action, as you'll see in the next step, is to do one small change at a time. If your goal is to manage stress better, then your plan will consist of practices that may include things like daily meditations, working on your scheduling and planning for the week, including time for active recovery, and also having a good sleep ritual. But if all these things are new to you, you want to lay them out on your roadmap as individual waypoints, starting with the ones that you feel most confident in doing and sticking to, and then going from there. So that's where step 4 comes in, and you choose your first action and try it out. We find the most success in the change process when we do new habits for about 2 weeks at a time, before trying to add anything new into the mix. This gives it enough time for the new habit to stick without the new practice becoming too boring for you to lose interest in the progress. So I suggest starting there. But as you go through these next 2 weeks, you'll want to observe yourself. Keep a record of how well you've been sticking to the action. Use a mix of both subjective and objective measurements to scale your success and completion of each small task. And then at regular intervals, usually every week or 2, check in with yourself to analyze and evaluate how you've been doing with your change and the actions that are leading you on the journey. Use this checkpoint to go back to step 3 and to strategize again and go through the process of either making your actions even simpler if you weren't very consistent with it, or adding in a new action if you're ready. And that's what really counts for the process of change. It's not about more information, just more action made simple so that it's done consistently. You can use this process to coach yourself through any goal that you've got. And if you're looking for a mentor on your journey, I just completed my PN certification in sleep, stress management, and recovery, and I'm accepting a few new coaching clients for my program. So check out the first link in the description below if you're interested. I appreciate you for watching this video, and until the next one, find your flow.